Welcome to The Explainer. You know that feeling, right? You finish an amazing article or a great book, and you try to explain why it's so good to someone, but you just can't seem to capture it. Well, today, we're going to break down two really powerful ways to get that core message across. We're talking about moving way beyond just a simple summary. So let's set the scene. You've just consumed something incredible, and you're buzzing. You want to share it with a friend or a coworker. But just repeating what you heard word for word, that almost never works. It doesn't capture the magic, does it? You need a real strategy. And that's exactly where these two paths come in. On one hand, you've got story retelling, which is all about rebuilding the entire world of the story for somebody else. And on the other, you have mediation, or as they say in German, Sprachmittlung, which is all about building a solid bridge of pure, essential information. All right, so first up, let's walk down path number one, story retelling. I want you to think of this as becoming a performer. Your goal is to get so deep into a story that you can basically reconstruct it from the ground up, making it just as gripping for your audience as it was for you. And this is the key. You're not just a parrot here, just repeating facts. Now, with story retelling, your job is to become the narrator. You are literally reconstructing the entire experience, the setting, the characters, the drama, the whole shebang for a brand new audience. Now, this isn't some kind of dark art. There's a real process to it. First, you've got to totally absorb the story. Then you jot down those key elements, the who, what, where. But here's the crucial step. Organizing all of that into a real story arc. You need an intro, a climax, a resolution, before you finally tell it in your own words. And to get this right, you can lean on some awesome frameworks. For instance, the SCOOP method is fantastic. I especially love the oh no part, because it forces you to identify that central conflict, which is really the heart of any great story. Or you can use the simple five-finger method to make sure you've covered all your bases. These aren't strict rules, they're just great tools to have in your back pocket. Okay, let's switch gears and talk about the second path. This one builds a totally different kind of connection. We're not rebuilding a world anymore. Now we're building an information bridge. This is the skill of mediation. With mediation, your entire role changes. You're not the storyteller anymore. You are the bridge. Your whole purpose is to transfer the absolutely essential, need-to-know information from the source to your audience, who, for whatever reason, can't get to it themselves. Now, listen up, because step 2 here is the absolute game changer, identifying only what your audience needs to know. Remember with story retelling, you might add some flowery details to build the mood? Well, with mediation, you are a filter. Your job is to be precise, to cut through all the noise and deliver only the critical facts for a very specific purpose. And this is just so important. Look at that fourth point. No personal opinions. That is the heart and soul of mediation. It is all about clarity and neutrality. Your job is to faithfully pass on the original message and its intention, not your own spin on it. You summarize, you paraphrase, but you never, ever editorialize. Okay, so we've walked down both of these paths. Now let's bring them together and put them right next to each other. This is where you can really see the huge differences and start to understand which one you should use and when. This pretty much says it all, doesn't it? Think about it like this. Retelling the story of the movie Jaws is all about making your friend feel that gut-wrenching terror of the shark attack. But mediating a report about shark attacks is about giving them the key facts on safety measures. See the difference? One is experience, the other is information. This table really breaks it down nicely. Look at the goal. Retelling is all about reconstructing a story, while mediation is about transferring information. And that changes the focus, right? Characters and plot versus just the relevant facts. And that, of course, impacts creativity. With retelling, you can add your own style, your own flair. But with mediation, you've got to be strictly factual, strictly precise. So, what's the big deal? Why should you actually care about these two techniques? What's the major takeaway here, whether you're sitting in a classroom or, a corporate boardroom? Well, here's the thing. The reason these skills matter so much is that they build the same fundamental muscles. Both of them force you to get better at reading comprehension and summarizing. But retelling really sharpens your public speaking, while mediation makes you an absolute expert at sorting the crucial details from the fluff. And honestly, both of those skills are invaluable. So really think about it. The next time you need to share something, ask yourself, am I sharing an experience or am I delivering vital information? Just consciously choosing which role to play is the first step toward becoming a way more powerful and precise communicator. The choice is yours. Thanks for joining me on this explainer.